I have a question for Copeland. First, yeah, congratulations for your legacy and everything you achieved. And for us as promoters too, we know there was a big change in the last 2 decades, especially because of internet. Everything changed in terms of telecommunications. And we have a curiosity. How was to be a manager or touring with all these Jamaican legends many years ago, and how to find if the promoter, the person you're talking on the phone was someone you could trust, how to have information to build a route and do logistics to issue contracts to receive deposits and everything that you did for all these years. So what is the difference between those early days and now with internet?
First, I must acknowledge that's Brother Rafael, one of my best friend and a promoter from Brazil, right? And beside him is Enrique, right? That another promoter. Now, I first went to Brazil in 1980 with Jimmy Cliff. And we did a tour with Jimmy Cliff and Gilberto Gil. And that tour was something that I'll never forget. Back in those days, the fact that we didn't have the facility in technology like what we have now, it wasn't easy, a lot of chance, but because of my experience and expertise, I used to, on my travels, because I did a lot of travel, I was able to interact with some of these promoters, right? And you can tell those who are gonna rip you off, because and those who are gonna be straight. I mean, not saying that you're not gonna fall into a little hole here and there, but then and now it's a big transition, because I remember the days we're going to places like Japan, and we had to get the pictures, go down to Federal Express, stand in a line, fill out a form, do all these things. And it takes a couple of days to get there. Now you just do bam, bam, bam on the computer and it's there, right? One of the problems we used to have, I know some people may feel uncomfortable with it, but it was a fact. And it's like these brothers can tell you, because all of us has been to Africa over the years. And we have had some experience that we wouldn't want to even talk about going into that region to do concerts. I remember 1988, I took an entourage of over 120 people on an African tour. Sly was there, right? The Dean was there. I've been to Africa with China, been to Africa with Lloydie, and Bubla. And you always want to secure, especially the financial part of it. Because one thing I can tell you, once you go there, no matter what it is, whether you're paid or not, they say, we don't care, we want music. That's the kind of attitude. And you can remember, I remember Jimmy Cliff was thrown in jail in Nigeria because he didn't get paid and he wasn't going to go on. And then they threw him in jail, and you call the police to help you, and you're not getting any help, right? Muta Baruch on his first trip to Africa, to Nigeria, I remember, in the end, we were out on the street because the promoter disappeared, pulled the return ticket, so they were stuck in Africa and couldn't come out because he did not pay the airline for the rest of the ticket. So the airline pulled the return ticket so this guy could show up, but the entertainers were suffering the consequences. So things like that, back in those days, you had to secure. So it's usually, yes, whatever you get on signing, but we need everything before we leave, because once you are there, I'm telling you, I have experienced it more than once, that you're at the mercy. Sometimes, I remember doing some shows with Toots, and we did 3.5 hours. And the guy said, what are you going? When we come to concert, 8 hours. And he had to go back and say, Reminaya for a long time, and then design a way out to leave the stage and leave the drum machine playing so everybody could escape out of the stadium. So those days were really, really tough, and it's a lot of chance that you have to take. You know, promoter disappeared and left us. We started in Liberia, then on to, what was the next place, Dean? They call it
We went to the
Zaire.
Right.
Zaire, on to Zaire. And then from Zaire into Nigeria. And then from Lagos up to Benin. And then we were supposed to head to Ghana. And then we saw where the promoter disappeared, can't find us. And we had to find our way back from Benin to Lagos. Truckman said they're not moving because they haven't been paid. They seized the equipment, right? And the equipment came from the US, you know, SIR, you know, and they want to be paid. They had to call the owner to wire down some money. The money wasn't enough. They said they're not letting out the equipment. I had to run to fella who became good friends of ours because he was on the tour and give him the money to tell the people that this is all we have, and he's lending us the money. And they respected fella, and that's how we were able to...